credit to you, Sandy, because I think the work you did with George was just phenomenal. You spoke about the WhatsApp and that sort of thing. I mean, I cannot believe from one meeting to the next how that man changed. And I think it's through your input, so all credit to you. You changed some dimensions there. I don't know what you did, but you did it. So
it was all
congrats. Afternoon, everyone. I'm just going to give you some observations. I know we are meant to do a sort of project report, but as our project never came to an end, there's not much to report on. So I thought I'd rather just give you some observations, and mainly on the process. As Sandy said, my partner was Stefanus Doc, and that was at Smutsville Premier, just up the road here. Interesting little school in a very, very poor environment. It really is. And I think this partnership approach, which Partners for Possibility has adopted, is really a great recipe for development of headmasters. I think, you know, the fact that you work together in this partnership is good. It puts you on equal level, and I think that's very important. But like so many other things in life, it comes down to a simple equation, and that is what you get in, you take out. And unfortunately in our partnership there wasn't enough putting in, and so we didn't get out as much as I would like to have. But the process works in such a way that everything is done to make sure people share, and that no one can be basically a bystander or just come along for the ride. We used to get there every time we met in our community of practice. You have to sit around the circle, so there's no desk you can hide behind or anything like that. And then everyone's asked to check in, which is a good thing because that gets everyone talking. And the whole process, I think, is made to really involve you. And I think credit to the designers of it for that. I can't say I really bought into all the courses we went on, but I'm sure they had a place. Before I go on, the other aspect which I really appreciated and my observation was, and the other headmasters can tell us whether it's true or not, was that it was an opportunity for you to interact as headmasters and headmistresses in a way which you wouldn't have been able to do in a normal DOE environment, and that you were able to share stuff that you probably wouldn't share otherwise, and develop a bond which I hope will endure for a long time. But it seemed to me that was, it was a good opportunity. From a personal point of view, it was really a great opportunity to learn more about such a key aspect of the development of our nation, and that is education. My observation would be the Department of Education isn't all bad. I actually think they put a lot of really good systems in place to make sure that things work. The downside to that probably is that for competent headmasters and headmistresses like we have with us, it's probably very frustrating because it doesn't give them enough latitude to what they want to do. But for the majority of our schools, it's probably very apt, useful, and make sure that they do what they are meant to be doing with funds, etc., etc. Of course, though, there are other challenges which I think really impact on the success of our education department, and there were just so many of them that we learned so much about in our time. And I really, there's maybe some of them, the home environment, I think the quality of teachers came through quite strongly, a number of other issues. But walking away from it, I thought, at least the Department of Education has got some structure They've got limitations, but I'm not in future going to blame the department for all the woes of the education department. Regarding the specifics of my partnership, I think there are a couple of things that came out of it which were a benefit. There was a shed at the school, and we said, let's go for the low-hanging fruit, and we converted the shed into a classroom. I mean, I can thank Andy Muir here. He changed the windows in his house, and we took those windows from his house and we made proper windows in the shed, and we converted the shed into a classroom. And the great thing is, Carol van Sale here and Vanessa van Rensburg were able to use that for their NGO to do extramural classes for the kids. And they may want to share with you as we have a drink afterwards or something, some of the benefits that they've seen the kids receive from being able to spend time with them. And so thank you for using it, and yeah, it's the one positive thing that came out of it. The other positive for me was the fact that kilts, and Sandy, if you don't mind me saying, assumed everyone knew what kilt is. It's an initiative with Jill Marcus, who's done a great job in helping local schools. Sedgefield seemed to be over the Great Divide between Neisner and the rest. And if I wasn't on this program and Stephanus wasn't on the program, certainly Smutsville wouldn't have got into kilt. So that was it was great that now Smutsville are part of kilt. I mean, they really are doing some great work, and so that was a good one for me. Personally, I think it helped me to understand more about myself. Probably, I'm not going to go into any more detail on it, but trust my gut a bit more than I have. So Andy had spent a lot of time talking, but we never really came to the right conclusions because we probably didn't trust our instincts enough. So that's it. Unfortunately, as many of these initiatives one undertakes, there's a scorecard. And it's not all gold stars and ticks. At my school I had many crosses, and I'm afraid that I have on this one. Our big cross was obviously that we didn't complete, and yeah, I'm disappointed we didn't. We just tended to scratch the surface and not really complete a process which, you know, I hope that many of the other partnerships will continue beyond today, and just that sounding board for people and someone you know you can trust to talk things through with was where I would have liked to have ended up in our partnership, but it didn't happen. So that's it. And I think finally just a special thank you to Sandy for your leadership. I know it wasn't easy for you. You were finding your way, and I'm sure us kids were not always well behaved and pushed back on a lot of things, but I thought you did a great job. And also to the team involved with it all, thank you. It was a good experience. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob.